Hey, this is Carrie Ann with Let's Be Realty Girl, and I am your local go-to realtor in Northeast Florida. So, fixer-uppers, money pits or money makers. So that is a big decision. A lot of people are really getting into this. It's been like a big trend for years now, probably 10 years or more. But there are 4 things that you have to keep in mind before you get into it. So here they are. Number 1 is location. That's absolutely the most important one. Number 2 is floor plan. Number 3 is condition. And number 4 is configuration. So all of these are very important for you to consider before you even go any further. And we're going to talk more about that in just a second. In case you don't know me, I am a local lifestyle blogger and realtor here in the Northeast Florida region. I love everything about home, and if it has anything to do with home, from buying or selling to fixing up to working in the yard, then I am totally in. That is my thing. So you can follow me though for community information, anything from local businesses, spotlights, to things that are going on, live music, all of that stuff. You can follow me for that, as well as real estate tips and tricks and everything that I love about home. So I do hope to see you there. Okay, so let's get into these 4 items. My little dog Indigo here. So you really have to be careful. You have to be careful that this dream that you have, which a lot of people have and a lot of people are doing it, doesn't go from dream to nightmare. So those 4 tips that we just talked about are going to be the key things you have to keep in mind before you get into trying to either flip a house for yourself or flip for profit. So let's get into those now. So the first one we went is location. You can never let this get to the back of your mind. Always has to be first. It really should be the very first thing that you look at before you look at anything else when it comes to flipping a house. And let me explain why. If you get a house and you have, it's the perfect everything. It's just got everything you think a house should have, but it's in a bad location. It doesn't matter if you have fixed this thing up and it's good enough to be on some HGTV show. It doesn't matter, because it's not going to sell. It's just going to sit there because it's in the wrong spot. Families aren't looking for it, or young people aren't looking for it. It's just not in the right location. So if the location isn't good, forget about 2, 3, and 4. You just need to stop right there at number 1. Okay. So number 2 is the floor plan. So the floor plan is really important, because if you go into a house and you start thinking about, okay, if I took down this wall and if I moved this and if I changed this and turned it into a closet, then this house would be perfect. So now, instead of just doing paint, maybe some flooring and things like that, instead you were talking about big ticket items. So your profit has gone from, up here to somewhere down here, because you're going to be writing checks to contractors. So if you're not really handy, and I mean really, really handy, you have to look at this floor plan. And is it just going to be a cosmetic fix, which that's pretty much, a lot of people can do that, then great, fabulous, you probably have got a winner. But if it is going to be something that you need a lot of work, like the windows need to be redone, needs a new roof, you're going to have to start moving things around because the size of the kitchen doesn't work or whatever, you are really talking about spending a lot of money, and you need to look at that margin of profit that you have and what you thought you would be spending. And if you are stretching it, I would say walk away from this one. Don't even try to get in, because whatever you can see, you can count on. There's tons of things that you can't see. So you're going to get into something that you're not going to be very happy with. So I would skip it if you get to number 2. If you get past number 1 and you get to number 2 and number 2 is looking a little shady, I would just move on to another one. You're going to find another one. The next one is the condition. So this seems like a no-brainer. If it is literally only being held up by like 2 little sticks on each side, you know that that's going to be maybe even a complete tear down. So you don't want to deal with that. You have to think about things like age of the HVAC, age of the roof, what are the windows original, is there any foundation issues, anything that could be, again, really expensive fixes. If it really is just taking the carpet out and putting in vinyl plank flooring, or if it's just changing the paint color, or simple yard stuff, clearing out weeds and trees, those are all things that are completely doable for the average person like you and me. But if it starts getting to those other things, then you are really looking for professionals to help you, and that's when you start eating in to any profit that would have been there. So be really careful when you're looking at the home, and it's so easy to go in, and especially because HGTV has done just a great job, and we all love those shows, from Fixer Upper, Fixer to Fabulous, Hometown. We love them. We just love them. And they go in and it looks super easy. Like in 30 minutes, they have gone from a house that literally needed everything to this beautiful thing. But in reality, it doesn't quite work that way. So you have to really pay attention and not let your heart get it in front of your head. So always be very careful. The last thing that you really have to think about is configuration. So in the area that you're looking in, let's just say that this is an area that families are moving into. So families usually are looking for at least a 3-bedroom and 2-bath, 1,500 square feet or more, and that's typical in most areas. But the place you're looking at is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. Already you are going uphill, because families are not looking for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. They are looking for a family home, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. So you have to really think about that configuration. The same thing is if this is a huge old Victorian house with 6 bedrooms and whatever, but this is an area where young people are moving into, and they're looking at more things like a 2-bedroom and 2 baths, something a little smaller, easier to take care of, small footprint, then that really big, beautiful Victorian is probably not going to be the best choice, because it doesn't fit into what a buyer is looking for in that particular area. So those are the 4 things that you really have to pay attention to. You know, it's easy to get into something and then think it's going to be a good idea, and then it's really, really hard to unwind, especially if you got money tied up into it. So I would really suggest having a realtor, somebody with you who understands the market, understands what basic costs are, probably has contractors that they know that would be able to come over and give you bids that would be reliable and trustworthy. That's a whole nother thing that could happen to you. So I would really, really focus on those 4 things. Get somebody to help you, somebody who understands. It could be a family member, could be a friend, or maybe you're just going to have to go out and hook up with a realtor and find a partner to work with you on this. All of those are good ideas, good suggestions. Thanks for joining me today. I hope the topic of Fixer Upper was helpful for you today. And if you were thinking about buying or selling in the Northeast Florida area, I would love to partner with you to get that done. You can call or text me at 904-601-2216. And this is Carrie Ann with Let's Be Realty Girl, and I hope to see you around town. See you later.